I never thought my greatest act of love would be cutting my family off forever. The golden Lisbon sun poured over Praca do Comércio like liquid warmth, wrapping around me as I cradled a chilled glass of Alvarinho. Then my phone erupted. It was my younger sister, Brooke. Not crying, screaming. "They're calling the cops. There are people in the apartment. They're saying it's theirs now." I didn't flinch. I simply took another slow sip. I already knew the ending to this chapter. 2 weeks earlier I'd closed escrow on the sleek downtown loft I'd spent 9 years of brutal hours earning. Floor-to-ceiling glass. Views that made the Puget Sound look like it belonged to me alone. It was my first real sanctuary. And I'd sold it quietly. No fanfare. No family group chat announcement. To understand why I stayed so calm while my sister unraveled on another continent, you need to see the blueprint they built around me. My parents, Victor and Diane, never raised 2 daughters. They engineered one perfect parachute and one golden child. I was the parachute. Brooke got the pearl-white convertible at 17. I got a lecture on public transit and environmental responsibility when I turned the same age. Brooke's college tuition at an elite private university. Fully funded, no questions asked, $240,000 over 4 years. My state school night classes while working graveyard stocking shelves. Building character, they called it. They praised my independence the way people praise a dog that doesn't beg at the table. I became a senior product analyst. I spent my days decoding human behavior, predicting decisions, designing frictionless experiences. So I turned the same ruthless lens inward. I wasn't their daughter. I was infrastructure. The emergency fund. The cosigner. The tech support. The rent bailout. The emotional shock absorber every time Brooke's latest dream imploded. When the Lisbon relocation package landed in my inbox, dream role, relocation covered, start date in 45 days, I knew exactly what would happen if I left that loft sitting empty. They'd move Brooke in just for a bit. Then the boyfriend. Then the redecoration. Then the excuses. It's family, Maya. Why be so possessive? So I chose scorched earth. Private sale. Off-market. Discreet agent. I told them I'd hired corporate property management. Strict lease. No exceptions. Even for us. Diane pursed her lips over Sunday pot roast. That feels so cold, Maya. Strangers in your beautiful home. I smiled thinly. It pays the mortgage. I flew out with 2 suitcases and 0 goodbye party. Then the call came. Brooke was hysterical. My parents had helped her move boxes into what was now Dr. Elena and Marcus Reyes' brand new home. The Reyeses, both cardiologists, were standing in their own living room watching my sister scream that her family owned the place. Police were en route. I asked to be put on speaker. "Brooke," I said evenly, "I sold the loft 3 weeks ago. You're trespassing. The owners have every right to have you removed." The line went deathly quiet except for distant sirens. I stayed on while the officers arrived. I emailed the closing docs. I confirmed 0 permission had been granted. I told the Reyeses they had my full support to press charges if she refused to leave. She left in tears, escorted out. No handcuffs. A small mercy I didn't owe her. Then came the family video call. Victor's face filled the screen, purple with rage. "You set us up. You humiliated your sister. Do you know what this did to her?" I let the silence stretch. "You're right," I finally said. "I did something unforgivable. I stopped being your safety net." Diane gasped. "We're family, Maya. Family takes care of each other. Family doesn't break into someone's home," I replied. "Family doesn't treat a daughter's life savings like a communal piggy bank." Victor's voice cracked. "You owe us an explanation at least." "No," I said softly. "I owe you nothing. I sent the invoice that night, locksmith fees, cleaning service, hotel nights for Brooke. Final tally, $2,800. Then I ended the call. But the Real bomb dropped 2 days later. An email from my old director, urgent. "The Reyeses are major stakeholders in Meridian Partners, your dad's largest client. Marcus Reyes is on the board. They're questioning whether they can continue the relationship after yesterday. Victor's consulting firm lived or died by Meridian. 45% of annual billings. My phone rang immediately. Victor. No bluster left. Only terror. Maya, please. Write a statement. Say you gave Brooke permission but forgot to tell the buyers. Say it was a misunderstanding. I'll lose everything. The firm collapses. We lose the house. I listened to him beg. Then I remembered the 12-year-old girl who had to fundraise her own science fair project because failure builds resilience. I looked at the Tagus glittering gold in the evening light. No, I said. This is what happens when you spend 30 years treating one child like a human and the other like equipment. The equipment eventually walks away. He sobbed. Called me selfish. Yes, I answered. And it feels incredible. I hung up. Blocked all 3 numbers. 6 months later the ripples had become waves. Meridian didn't just leave, they told others why. Victor's firm shrank by 2/3. Layoffs. Office downsized. The Brooke allowance vanished. Word filtered through a distant cousin. Brooke got a job. Front desk at a physical therapy clinic. Her first W-2. Ever. They're angry. They're struggling. They blame me. And they're finally functioning without devouring me to stay afloat. Tonight I sit on a tiny Alfama balcony, the air thick with grilled fish and distant fado. A warm custard tart sits in front of me. My phone is silent except for work notifications and friends who chose me, not my utility. For the first time in 3 decades I wake up without a background hum of obligation. I am alone. I am selfish. I am finally, breathtakingly free. If you've ever had to burn a bridge to save your own life, drop a like. Share this with the quiet one in your circle who always picks up the pieces. And stay tuned. Freedom has more stories to tell.